Hello. Welcome to my stream number 45 of my 152 days challenge, at least 152 days challenge. Welcome to my stream. I know that there are not much live viewers and there are some viewers afterwards. So if you came by title, by description or whatever, just check the video sections or titles or video chapters below the video to find proper proper place in that stream, so you could find what you're looking for. Yeah, give me a second, just check in about. Okay, looks like it was some temporary issue with the frame drops. Okay, today I actually thought about yesterday problem about using ChatGPT's prompts for doing multiple things, and I think, okay, maybe we can do it's like like thread, like assistance. So you provide basically like chat competition, like before, whatever. It's it's the same thing. It's the same model. You just provided some system message, then you provided user messages, and then you provide it with your question, and it will provide answer. And if you want to keep context, you just send everything once again, and you will receive answer, and so on and so on. But in terms of system cost, it will bill you again if you are using some AI or I'm sorry, some API or SDK like Azure or OpenAI, whatever. It will bill you by number of tokens you use. So the more text you send, the more you will pay. So instead of using the thread, it's maybe would be cool if you just send the same transcript. And I'm thinking again. Yes, the same transcript and very clear instructions what to do with the transcript. And then we just combine results, maybe with the same ChatGPT into something single, yes. Because I remember that when I have much simpler prompt, it returns much more mature results. I mean, much more reliable for chapters. When we try to make very sophisticated prompt, it's start dreaming somewhere, you know. But also, I worked not on because of it, because I realized. I'm sorry. One thing. Small history. I had me and my wife have different Amazon accounts. They, of course, in family hold, but household, but they're different with different names, with different lists, etc. And we both participate in some program where we have some recommendation. We can order, review some products. And my wife used to look her account and mine account, and we have some agreements that she will use less my account and more her. And I start talking about it once again today. And then I understand. Then I understand very clearly that that everything, If I need something, not an issue. It's just to find maybe some small cheap things which will be for you available even on the smaller price because of that program. And I think, come on, I spent so many time on that. I spent I'm talking to my wife and making you less happy because she, okay, maybe she is slightly more happier because she could use like several accounts, and I lost energy on talking with her. I mean, lost energy. I wasn't happy. It's for silly talk, silly conversation, and yeah. And after all of that, I said, okay, stop. If you're dreaming about something good, maybe you just stop doing things which are small and not necessary. And it's really evolved into much bigger idea that sometimes we worry about something small and we worry so much that yeah, we concentrating on it and we not letting it go, and all our dreams or our plans. And I know it for myself for sure, because I have a lot of even great things, even that program I show you which could help YouTube creators to automate multiple things. It's not in the final stage, it's just beginning. And once I start using it more for my channel, I understand that it's okay, and use it more. I see, okay, it's still not perfect, it has so many things to improve. And instead of doing that, I'm spending some time here, some time here, some time here, and I'm just looking back, and the whole day is past already. So I understand that probably there should be some rules for myself, and I start thought about them and say, okay, maybe your dream should encourage you, and yeah, I understand. Maybe for most of you that is like very clear things, but for me it was like discovery. Again, I know it, but at some point of time I discover it again, and again for myself. And I feel that I want to share the discovery. Maybe it would help someone else, and if it will help someone, it will be very cool. So don't spend a lot of time with things which basically keep you away from your big dream, or from even some your useful smaller dreams, whatever, from your dreams, like playing some even silly games on phone, because I stopped playing on computer. But on the phone sometimes it's just few minutes, but sometimes that few minutes become few hours, or even maybe it's just 10 minutes or 15. But 15 minutes, come on, it's a lot of time. You can do a lot of things in 15 minutes. So instead of sitting and, okay, I don't want what I could do to spend my time, to waste my energy. Yeah, it's like you holding yourself back. And from one side, I understand that I'm holding myself back. From other side, I thinking about something big. So it's good to stop doing a lot of things which drain your energy. It could be even, you know, it could be even conversation with some people. Conversation, and after that conversation, you don't feel engaged or like exchanging the energy, but you feel some like you drained energy in that conversation. Maybe if it's not necessary, you should limit that conversation, or plan it differently. So you will not, yeah, lose so much energy in that conversations. So for sure, because sometimes when you just go and have not so good talk, maybe it's even with very close people like your wife or whatever, or your kids, and then you feel upset because you lost energy, because probably with that conversation or person you don't like, and at that moment of time you just cannot provide him energy, cannot get his energy, so you lose energy, you will be drained. or maybe it's your loved ones, but you try to do some stupid things like teach them, say it what you don't like, but not in good manner. So both lose energy. They don't like it. They start acting maybe not normal, not like adult people like you expect, because when you do that, you are not adult people like you want to look like. Yeah, you know. So yeah, I have a problems with my internet. So anyone looking me right now, I'm very sorry, but yeah, probably you should look at the recording. I need to check my internet before starting the stream, maybe 10 minutes before, because if I start checking it right now, yeah, I my router restarts in just too much time, and I couldn't use my mobile internet, because it's I live in gap. No mobile internet here, reliable, no reliable mobile internet here. So sorry for that. Okay, so next thing, like people, um, not only people, not only topics you discuss with them and how you discuss with them, but even some task you are doing. You know, you just worry about some task, which which maybe if you will look, are you really getting close to where you want to be doing the task and worrying about this task or what? And maybe in many cases, you will say, no, it's not that task. Mm, maybe so you just need to revisit what you are doing, what you are worried, where you gain your energy, and say, okay, it's I want to, not something I want to do, or I want to worry about, or I want to spend so much my attention, my energy, and so on and so on. So, yeah, I had such tasks, I had such conversation, and I have such type of conversation even with close people, with whom I couldn't exchange energy, get motivated, but instead I I lose energy, and I making them lose energy. So if you're not making people happy or motivated, or at least plain after your conversation, but you introduce any negative, I understand sometimes it sounds like it's not possible to not do that, but yeah, it's why we are learning. It's our greatest ability to learn new things, and building relationship, building conversation, learning not to lose your energy, not to drain someone else's energy. It's a good learning. So let's learn about it. Um, yes, and that's, as I said, that unnecessary things, yeah, also wasting a lot of energy, and at the end, you don't have time to learn something. You don't have time to spend on something you love, you like. Of course, you tend to oh, come on, I forgot sometimes words. um Give me a second. I remember that word in Spanish. It's culpar. Culpar, but not in English. Yeah, if you know, if you learn many languages, it's what could happen. Give me 1 second. I'll change my Wi-Fi. Maybe it will help. I will. You will lose me for a second, maybe. Okay. Oh, blame. So when you don't have time to do everything, etc., or of course you tend to blame in someone, not yourself, or maybe yourself also. I'm bad, etc. I couldn't do that, or blaming someone else. Oh, they asked me to do something. It's took all my time. Not all your time, believe me. just because, yeah. And you know, I'm trying to be, I'm trying to be like effective. I try to spend my time effectively. Sometimes I get up, I do some morning like rituals, like taking bus or yeah, uh, yeah, cleaning my teeth and making some maybe coffee, eat my yogurt, banana, whatever with coffee. And then sometimes, I'm just checking news. I need set a hard stop limit for checking news. Sometimes it's taking too much. And if there are some emotional news or something evolving news, it's again starting to drain your energy. You're just checking on them, and yeah, not good. And uh, looks like very usual, very normal things, but again, yeah, for me it's working. I just can't stop doing that. And from other side, yeah, and then I try to plan my day. I build plans. I use some cards. I use some notebooks to ruled notebooks where I put what I will do every half an hour. And then my plan doesn't work. Sometimes they work very briefly. At least I try to do something useful, like something useful on my work, something useful in my like in keeping my environment, so I could do some I could yeah throw some old letters. I could review my some of my paper folders or whatever. I could put some things on proper place. uh, yeah, so do some cleaning, water my plants, whatever. So something that I feel that okay, at least I did something. Yeah, but at the same time, what I understand that just so if you dream to become very effective, etc., very capable, and so on, it's a good dream, but I mean, maybe it's not always as good. So losing a lot of energy is bad. But if you don't do so, there is always a choice. One thing, what person you are, and the other, what what trail you live in history of humanity. And sometimes, very effective people, which could do a lot, which could have a great impact, sometimes they're not living a coolest trace in the history, like Adolf Hitler, for example, or other people. Yes, they did a lot, but then they start doing things like they justify, okay, I want a great country. I need to kill for that like one 100 100 of thousands people. Okay, several millions of people, maybe 100 people, 100 million people, and that level go up or down, whatever. And you should ask because the if you will become very, let's say, popular, powerful, rich, and so on and so on, you could be in situation where you need to decide what you want to do the next. And right now, maybe you will answer, okay, I'll do the right thing, I will be kind, full of wisdom, etc. But really, in some point, I'm just thinking about, that conflict. Oh, between Russia, Ukraine, and I'm just thinking of becoming a leader of any country in the world, not only Ukraine or Russia, because it's super hard edge, but even some country in Europe, some small country, and whole European Union supports, for example, Ukraine, they sent mm, arms, they sent some supplies, etc., etc. They do sanction against Russia, and so on and so on. And that is also a decision which could lead to some um, broken lives. You know, so you see, the responsibility level is pretty high, and when your responsibility level is very high, sometimes there are just no good decisions. So maybe if you are living your simple life, growing your kids or not growing your kids or doing some simple stuff, I think the most important is to concentrate on doing some good. Be kind and yeah, and build good relationship with your environment. And of course, the second thing is not to lose energy. Try to achieve more and try to do go to some dreams. But it depends on what your dreams are, because when you achieve a lot, you have to do a lot. So yeah, it's but the ideal path, I believe, when you could remain kind with good with a lot of wisdom and achieve more and more, but not compromising your kindness for sure. Whenever you feel okay, now I will compromise it, maybe you should stop and think, okay, why I need to go up? Maybe it's good here. Ah, okay. Start about one thing, finish about completely different. Yeah, I had just so many discoveries today, and I just try to combine them into something not combinable. So yeah, if you want to hear about anything of it more, just leave me a comment. If you subscribe, it would be really cool, but I don't ask you. But yeah, leaving some comments, maybe interact somehow with my stream. Of course, it would be cool for me, because as I said before, I like to do some technical stuff, but also I like to discover much more complex formulas of human life, of human interaction, of nature miracles, and so on. Of course, it's much more interesting than any software code, even nice, cool, and beautiful. Yeah, it wouldn't be at this point of time as beautiful as environment, as people around us, as in nature. So yeah. Okay, I wish you a great time of your day. I don't know what is morning or evening, but this time of the day, I wish you to have coziness, kindness, and build a healthy, calm, cozy environment around you for your loved ones. See you tomorrow at my stream number 46. Is it